Are you a tired mom who feels like you're running on empty? Trust me, you're not alone. In today's video, Lena shares 7 practical tips to help moms recharge and tackle their busy days. But what's amazing is how she balances empathy with real, actionable advice. Let's unpack her tips and connect them to the realities of modern parenting.
Do you feel like it's hard to get going, like you hardly have enough energy for all the tasks that you need to do? Are you feeling low or maybe even depressed today? I want you to know I see you, I feel you, I get back there all the time. I can very much relate. And yet, after having 5 kids, my oldest is 10, my youngest is 10 months, I can say there are a couple of things I have figured out that I know can be practical tips for you today. Hey, my name is Lena from Girl Teach Me. This whole channel is to help you on the journey of motherhood. I hope you'll hit subscribe. I hope you'll stick around. Today I'm sharing 7 tips for the exhausted mama. If that's you, I know there's gonna be just at least one nugget today that can just kind of kickstart you, get you going. I want you to know that I see you, I feel you, I can very much resonate. I wish I could reach through the screen right now and give you a hug because I wish somebody could do that for me on my low days. I know there's gonna be something, one actionable thing today, if you stick with me through this whole video, that is going to be a help today. Maybe just to jumpstart you, maybe to get you going, and maybe even an idea that helps you not get here as often. Because I think sometimes we just get there and we're like, wow, how did I get here? How did I get here? If you're feeling low and you're kind of shaming yourself today, like, oh, I should be able to get it together, or oh, why am I so depressed, or any kind of negative self-talk, I just want to tell you, all the time. I talk to women all the time, and this is very common occurrence. It's not a great occurrence that we want to happen, but it's common. And so I just want to say that and hopefully dispel any shame you might be feeling about being in this point today. So let's get into it. Let's get into some practical, helpful tips that maybe can just kickstart you today. The first one is 1, notice energy givers and energy vampires in your life.
This is such a crucial insight. As parents, it's easy to overlook how certain activities or even people can drain us. Whether it's endless scrolling or that friend who only calls to complain, cutting out these energy vampires can free up so much mental space. And hey, identifying your energy givers, like a quick walk in the sun or a moment with your favorite playlist, can completely shift your mood. What are your energy givers? Let us know in the comments.
What do I mean by that? What are the things or the people or the activities that give you energy, and what are the ones that just suck the life out of you? What can you control, and how can you kind of regulate the energy givers and the energy vampires? You know, if it's that somebody who calls you and every time they call you, it's just an energy suck, it's like, not talking to you today. If it's scrolling, if that's an energy suck, as tempting as it might feel to go and get that dopamine, it's actually just going to steal energy from you. What makes you feel alive and feel good? What's an energy giver? Start to notice what gives you energy and what just like drains it from you. The second thing is just a very practical health thing. Add electrolytes to just your daily rhythm. I know electrolytes can feel like a buzzy word, but coffee might literally be draining a lot of your electrolytes. And so I love Just Ingredients electrolytes. There's some other good ones. Some of them have some not so great things in them, so that's why I love Just Ingredients. But just doing that, I add some trace mineral drops to my drink. I have one right here. This is my second one today. I'm feeling super sluggish today. When I'm starting to feel like super low, maybe like 2 p.m. and I've had plenty of coffee, turning to electrolytes can kind of just make me feel a little bit better. Okay, if you feel like you can't get going, I want you to consider doing the triple threat. And this is it. This is a triple threat. Hope you have that lean in factor because this is really helpful. And if you'll do this right now, it could change your whole day. It's very simple. You ready? I'm just going to need you to trust me on this. If it works, come back and leave a comment. Let me know. If I see that comment that you go and do this and you come back and leave me a comment that it changed your day, you will have made my day. That will be the best comment I can receive that day. Okay, here it is. Here's the triple threat. 1, put on shoes. Okay, Lana, I got a question already. Aren't shoes toxic in my home? Could be true. Disinfect the bottom if it really bothers you. Wipe it down with some soap and water. But I'm telling you, you're going to feel like you want to get going if you can put on some tennis shoes or something. It's going to make you feel more active. And when we're sitting and just feeling really depressed and low on energy, getting up and moving is going to help so much. Psychologically, it just does something to us when we put on our shoes. So even if you're still in your jammies, just put on some tennis shoes. I'm telling you. The second part of the triple threat. Ready? It's a two-parter. One, put on a bra. Okay? Lena, I don't want to. Just try it for me. Put on a bra. It's going to do something to your brain. Second part of that triple threat is to put a baby carrier on. If you have a baby that's tiny, strap that baby to you. Lena, the baby doesn't like the baby carrier. It's going to be just a little while, okay? Just trust me. It's just nice. You don't have to think about the baby. If you want to, you could put the baby in like the high chair or in the pack and play, somewhere safe. Strap the baby to you. The third thing is do a 10-minute timer. 10-minute timer for an area that's really bothering you. Do a doable portion is what I like to say. A 10-minute timer. And if you want to stop after that 10 minutes, just stop right there. But if you feel like you're getting your mojo going, maybe completing a task is what's going to feel good. Maybe knocking out that whole sink full of dishes or getting a load of laundry going and folding one load and putting it away. Just completing a task. But don't feel bad about just a 10-minute, like, wow, I did a dent. I made some effort. That is amazing as well. So the triple threat, put on some tennis shoes. 2, put on a bra and a baby carrier. 3, give me a 10-minute timer. And I promise you, it will be like an immediate dopamine hit.
Okay, let's talk about the genius of this triple threat. It's a small act, but it shifts your mindset from I'm stuck to I'm ready. Putting on shoes sends a psychological signal that it's time to move. Add in a baby carrier, and your hands free to tackle something productive, even if it's just 10 minutes of tidying up. Simple? Yes. Powerful? Absolutely.
It could be gone in 30 minutes, but I'm telling you, at least give you a little oomph, a little something. And sometimes we feel depressed because we don't have enough energy to get done all the things that are around us, or we feel like we have to sit and hold that baby. This triple threat helps me all the time. The fourth one, we're going crazy, guys. We're going crazy. You've never heard this tip. I'm here to tell you. You haven't heard it on YouTube. You could have heard it on YouTube, but you probably didn't. The fourth one is start dinner after breakfast. You heard me, start dinner after breakfast. Lana, why? Why would I start dinner after breakfast? Well, let me tell you. It's kind of like when we're surprised that we have our period. It's like, what? I had my period? I mean, for most of us, we have it every month. I know there's exceptions, but dinner's coming every day. Dinner's coming every day. And one thing that can be a real drain on our energy is when we already feel like we don't have enough energy and now we're trying to figure out what to eat. Like that age-old question that comes 3 times a day. What are we eating? What are we eating? What are we eating? And you just want a break from thinking about it. Give yourself a break from thinking about it by making a pre-decision about what it is. I was actually feeling so sluggish. Like it's like 6:30 right now and I'm filming this. But I was feeling sluggish earlier today, and so I knew taco soup would be easy. So I put together some taco soup and it's on low and we're going to eat it after this video. So just go ahead and start it after breakfast.
This might be my favorite tip of the video. Dinner stress is so real, especially when energy dips in the afternoon. Prepping early removes that dreaded, what's for dinner? Panic at 5 p.m. Plus, this habit aligns with the idea of future you, setting yourself up for success before the chaos hits. Think of it as self-care disguised as meal prep.
So you don't have to complete it, but get the plan, get the meat thawing, get some veggies chopping, get it going. And then by the time 3 to 5 comes and you're feeling exhausted, you're like, I already got a plan for that. I already know what's happening. We're not having to eat out and spend money that we don't want to spend. Okay, the fifth one could be, oversaid, but I'm going to put a new spin on it, okay? 5, get some sunshine. Literally, it's an energy giver. It's an energy giver, unless it's like 110 outside. If it's 110 outside, maybe get your morning or evening sunshine. But if it's not, just getting out for a 10-minute walk. This is a mama break. If you can strap your kids into their seats, give them some snacks or something. Listen to something you enjoy. If you have bigger kids, you can make it a race. We call it the 1-mile marathon. It's just like a 1-mile loop. And we celebrate the winners, and then the winners who get there first, they cheer for essentially the losers. I'm usually coming in last with my stroller. Kind of just gets us going if we're in a little bit of funk. So some sunshine, always almost an energy giver.
Science backs this one up. A little sunlight can work wonders for your mood and energy levels. Whether it's a walk with the kids or just sitting outside with your coffee, Those few minutes can help reset your day. And for those brutally hot days, consider Lena's advice. Grab your morning or evening sun instead. It's about adapting to what works for you.
Unless you're outside all day, and then you might feel drained. But you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, the next one I've already touched on a little bit, but do a doable portion. Sometimes we have this like all or nothing thought in our head. Like I either have to completely clean and organize my house or I can't do anything. And some days we only have so much. And so do a doable portion that matches that day. If you're at an absolute low today, that doable portion is not going to be very big, but let me tell you, momentum is magic. It's magic. If you can just get going, that doable portion will increase. I'm telling you, do a doable portion. If it's a 2-minute timer on dishes, 2-minute timer on a tidy, don't underestimate what can be done in 2 minutes, and don't underestimate the momentum that 2-minute timer can give you for the rest of the day. Sometimes I'm telling you, motherhood's mind games. It's mind games. I mean, I'm telling you. So let's knock out the things that maybe drain us the most. We can do a doable portion of a tidy. We throw a 10-minute timer on. We do a 10-minute cleanup. I turn on like awesome, exciting, fun music. We do a doable portion. If I told my kids we had to clean the whole house, they would cry their eyes out. But in their head, 10 minutes is a doable portion. If I know they're really struggling, we do 5 minutes. If they're really struggling, we just do the length of the cleanup song with Siri. So do a doable portion and don't underestimate it. Okay, the 7th one comes from my heart, and I really mean it, and I hope you receive it. Sometimes we're best fit for God's work when we feel weak. And a friend of mine who's a missionary in Southeast Asia reminded me of this because she said, Lana, what can I be praying for you for? And I'm like, I feel like a crepe. I feel so spread thin. I just feel exhausted. And she said, sometimes we are best used by God when we feel weak. And so if you feel very weak and exhausted in this season of motherhood, I want you to know that you can still be so useful in the hands of the Lord for people that you love, your husband, your children, your friends, your family. Just because you're tired and you're exhausted doesn't mean you're disqualified from being useful. And in fact, you're pouring out, you're loving other people. It's really beautiful and important work. I was talking to one of my favorite authors. He came to speak at our church, and his wife homeschooled and his kids were grown. And he looked at me and said, I want you to know that motherhood is the most important and probably impactful career that there could be. And it really meant a lot to me. I mean, this man has gone to MIT. He's written many books. He's pastored a big, thriving church. And for him to look at me and to just encourage me that motherhood is very meaningful. I know it is, but it just feels good sometimes when people tell us. So I'm telling you right now, you are doing a good work. Don't grow weary in being faithful. And the other thing I would say is ask for help. You know, we're needy and we're needed. That's what we are as humans. And so there's no shame in asking for help. If you're at a time where you're so exhausted and you're maybe even burnout or you're depressed or you're low, this may not be your time where other people can get a lot of help from you, but it might be the time that you're asking for help. There'll be a different season. Seasons will change and you'll be able to give more. So just recognizing your bandwidth right now and not be ashamed of asking for help and not being ashamed of being kind of needy right now. That's okay.
Lena's video isn't just about tips. It's about recognizing the emotional load moms carry daily. Exhaustion isn't a sign of failure. It's often the result of pouring so much love and energy into your family. Her advice empowers moms to reclaim small moments of control and joy. This video also highlights a deeper conversation about mental health in parenting, normalizing the need for support and breaking down the stigma of asking for help.
We have everything we need to be faithful in Jesus. And so that's really important to me, my faith. That's what keeps me going when I'm just absolutely exhausted. And so, you know, if you haven't kind of circled back and thought about your faith in a while, maybe you're just running on fumes because you're doing it all yourself. That's just one thing to consider. Like maybe you just need to ask ultimately for the Lord's help. I mean, He is happy to help, especially when we ask. And so those are from my heart practical thoughts because those are the things that really get me through on those hard days. It's just knowing that I'm tired for a reason. I've poured out and I'm doing good work, and so are you. So I really want you to go do that triple threat. Go put on some tennis shoes, put on a bra, baby carrier, do that 10-minute timer. If you want another video to watch while you're doing your 10-minute timer, you could watch how I actually got through a hard day. You can kind of see how I did a little bit of this triple threat myself, so we can do it together. I'll link that video down below, how to get through a hard day. I think it would be a great next video for you to watch. So I hope you'll hit subscribe. I hope you'll stick around. I'd love to have you on this channel, and I'll see you again in the next video.
So, what's your top takeaway from Lena's tips? Whether it's tackling energy vampires or prepping dinner in advance, these hacks remind us that small changes can make a big difference. If this resonated with you, hit the like button and subscribe for more real, judgment-free parenting advice. And drop mom energy in the comments to let us know you're ready to recharge. You've got this. We'll see you in the next video.